Concluding words. Countless lessons that impact both a person's religious and worldly life can be derived from the Holy Quran. However, the first point to understand is that it will only benefit someone who fulfills its three aspects with sincerity. The first aspect is to recite it regularly and correctly with sincerity. The second aspect is to understand its meanings. The final aspect is to sincerely act upon its teachings in accordance with the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. One of the central teachings of the Holy Quran is that people should recognize, understand, and strive to fulfill the purpose of their creation, namely preparing for their meeting with Allah, the Exalted, on Judgment Day. With regard to a non-Muslim, when this purpose is not recognized, a person fails to understand why they have been created and placed upon the earth. As a result, priorities in life become misaligned, and importance is given to matters that are not truly significant. Such a person may end up dedicating their life to pursuits which, when viewed in the broader reality, hold little or no lasting value. Their emotions, joy, sorrow, appetite, and satisfaction, become centered around these transient pursuits. In some cases, individuals may descend to such a level of purposelessness that even others recognize their life as lacking direction, meaning, or a higher aim. For example, many people devote their time and energy to drama, entertainment, sports, animals, plants, or their professions. While working in a lawful profession is itself a positive and necessary aspect of life, it should never become the ultimate objective of existence. When it is elevated to that level, a person ultimately fails to fulfill the true purpose of their creation, resulting in a life that is spiritually empty and devoid of lasting meaning. Such misuse of the blessings granted to them prevents them from attaining true peace of mind and body. This is one of the reasons why some individuals, despite achieving significant worldly success, still experience depression or even suicidal thoughts. A person who genuinely recognizes their life as meaningful and valuable would not normally contemplate ending it. Therefore, such thoughts themselves indicate a deeper absence of purpose. Even in cases of great material achievement, this reflects a failure to understand and fulfill the purpose of creation, resulting in an unfulfilled and directionless existence. Chapter 59 Al-Hash, verse 19.
And be not like those who forgot Allah, so He made them forget themselves. Those are the defiantly disobedient.
With regard to some persons who identify as Muslims, but limit themselves to fulfilling only the basic obligatory duties of Islam, without dedicating additional effort to studying and applying the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they may fail to fully comprehend the purpose of their creation and their broader purpose in this world. This is because the deeper understanding of life's purpose is not gained solely through performing the basic obligatory duties. As a result, such persons may spend only a small portion of their day, often less than an hour, actively preparing for their meeting with Allah, the Exalted, since the obligatory practices themselves do not require extensive time. In many cases, even this limited practice may be carried out through imitation of family or community habits rather than through personal understanding, due to a lack of knowledge and weakness in conviction. Without a deeper connection to the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, their attention may remain largely directed toward worldly life and its pleasures, as their outlook is restricted to what is immediately visible in this world. In this respect, there may appear to be little practical difference between such persons and non-Muslims, as their ambitions, fears, hopes, desires, and overall goals may become similar in nature. This becomes apparent when observing their day-to-day activities outside the time of obligatory worship. This does not mean that such persons are destined for punishment. On the contrary, by fulfilling their obligatory duties and avoiding major sins, there remains hope for their entry into paradise. However, due to this limited approach, namely, not striving to understand and work towards the true purpose of life, they are deprived of experiencing complete peace in this world. This is because they fail to utilize worldly blessings in the most appropriate manner, even when those blessings are used in permissible ways, since their outlook remains confined to worldly enjoyment alone. As a result, their mental and physical state may become unbalanced, and they may struggle to correctly prioritize people, responsibilities, and life goals. They may also fall short in adequately preparing for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. This can lead to stress, difficulties, and various forms of hardship in both religious and worldly aspects of life, even if they possess material comforts and luxuries. The failure to move beyond this limited approach is one of the factors that contributes to the reality that some persons who fulfill only the obligatory duties still experience psychological struggles such as depression. This is because they have not fully aligned their lives with the complete guidance of Allah, the Exalted, in the manner that leads to true peace, namely, through achieving a balanced mental and physical state and correctly placing every blessing, responsibility, and relationship within its proper position. Chapter 13 Ar-Ra'd, verse 28.
Unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah do hearts find peace.
Even if such Muslims ultimately enter paradise, due to their conduct, they will have entirely missed the purpose for which they were placed upon this earth. Their example is like that of students who are given a mock examination by their teacher. Some students prepare diligently for it, while others do not take it seriously and hardly revise. Even if both groups pass the examination, the teacher will only be pleased with those who prepared properly, as they alone understood the purpose of the mock exam. Its purpose was to place the students in the correct mindset, so that they are ready for their real examinations. Those who failed to prepare for the mock exam may still have passed, but they entirely missed its point and purpose. This is the example of Muslims who fail to understand the purpose of their existence on this earth, yet through blind imitation of others still end up in paradise. They are like a beautifully decorated vase that is empty within. Due to their low worldly aspirations, they do not attain the great station and purpose they were granted by Allah, the Exalted. Chapter 95 at 10, verses 4 to 6.
We have certainly created man in the best of stature. Then we return him to the lowest of the low, except for those who believe and do righteous deeds.
This prevents them from attaining peace in this world, as a person with low aspirations will become distressed over trivial and insignificant matters. Such a person will devote most of their effort to worldly gain, which ultimately brings no lasting benefit in either this world or the hereafter. Chapter 18 Al-Kahf, verses 103 to 104.
Say, shall we inform you of the greatest losers as to their deeds? They are those whose effort is lost in worldly life, while they think that they are doing well in work.
In relation to those who strive to study and apply the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they are granted a distinct way of perceiving the world and their place within it. This perception enables them to recognize the purpose of their creation and their purpose on this earth, namely to prepare for their meeting with Allah, the Exalted, on Judgment Day. It also allows them to understand that this world and all the blessings within it are only a means by which a person may reach the hereafter in safety, and not an end in themselves. This understanding encourages them to use every blessing they have been granted in the manner prescribed in Islamic teachings. As a result, they attain a balanced mental and physical state and are able to correctly place every person and every aspect of their life in its proper position, while also preparing adequately for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. This way of living brings about peace of mind in both worlds. Their example is like that of a librarian who organizes a large collection of books in a proper and orderly manner, allowing each book to be found easily and without stress. In contrast, a person who does not prioritize matters in their life according to Islamic teachings is like a librarian who arranges a vast collection of books in a random and disordered way. As a result, finding any single book becomes a source of difficulty and stress, as everything has been misplaced. In a similar way, a person who mismanages the worldly blessings they have been granted, such as wealth and relationships, will find these very blessings becoming a source of stress and difficulty. Such a person fails to understand the purpose of their creation and their purpose on this earth, and remains unaware of the hereafter, even if they fulfill the basic obligatory duties. As mentioned earlier, the perception granted through the Holy Quran enables a person to understand that all worldly blessings are a means to an end rather than an end in themselves. For this reason, they are not excessively disturbed by what they gain, lose, or fail to obtain in this world, since everything worldly is only a means and not the ultimate goal. Only the final outcome is of true significance. In contrast to those who do not adopt this correct perception through understanding and applying the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they are not overly distressed by what they do not receive in this world, as they recognize that whatever is not obtained here may be granted in the hereafter in a complete and lasting form. This perspective allows them to view the world as a mere drop in comparison to the vast and endless ocean of the hereafter, as indicated in a hadith found in Sunan Ibn Majah, number 4108. As a result, they are not greatly concerned by the loss of the drop, since they are, in a sense, standing at the shore of the ocean itself, meaning the hereafter. Chapter 4 An-Nisa, verse 77.
Say, the enjoyment of this world is little, and the hereafter is better for he who fears Allah.
This does not mean that such a person abandons the world. Rather, they make use of the blessings they have been granted in ways that are pleasing to Allah, the Exalted, thereby attaining peace and success in both worlds, through achieving a balanced mental and physical state, and through correctly placing every person and every aspect of their life in its proper position. In reality, it is this perception, rooted in acquiring and acting upon Islamic knowledge, that made the Holy Prophets, peace be upon them, and the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the best of creation. This is because they understood the purpose for which Allah, the Exalted, created them, and they exerted themselves in striving to fulfill it. The great companion Abdullah bin Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, affirmed that the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, were the best of people due to their greater detachment from worldly attachment and their stronger desire for the hereafter than anyone else. This has been mentioned in Imam Abu Naim al-Asfahani's Hilyat al-Awliya, wa Tabakar al-Asfiya, narration 278. This state of being was a direct result of the perception they were granted. Through this perception and understanding, their lives became complete, purposeful, and meaningful. Their aspirations were raised to the highest ranks, and as a result they attained greatness, as they understood and strove to fulfill the purpose of their creation. Chapter 6 Al-An'am, verse 162.
Say, indeed my prayer, my rites of sacrifice, my living and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the worlds.
Whereas those whose vision remained confined to this worldly life became diminished in their outlook, even if they acquired everything within it. Chapter 10 Yunus, verse 24.
The example of this worldly life is but like rain which we have sent down from the sky that the plants of the earth absorb, those from which men and livestock eat, until when the earth has taken on its adornment and is beautified and its people suppose that they have capability over it, there comes to it our command by night or by day, and we make it as a harvest as if it had not flourished yesterday. Thus do we explain in detail the signs for a people who give thought.
It is this perception and understanding that the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, grant to the one who sincerely strives to understand them and act upon them. The one who is deprived of this has failed to grasp the purpose of their creation and the purpose of their existence on this earth, even if they ultimately attain paradise in the hereafter. The three categories of people discussed above have also been summarized in the Holy Quran. Chapter 56 Al-Waqi'ah, verses 7-11.
And you become of three kinds. Then the companions of the right. What are the companions of the right? And the companions of the left. What are companions of the left? And the forerunners, the forerunners. Those are the ones brought near to Allah.
In addition, it should always be kept in mind that the teachings of the Holy Quran are summarized in Chapter 1 Al-Fatiha. The summary of Al-Fatiha is that every person has been granted blessings by Allah the Exalted. The one who uses these blessings in ways that are pleasing to Allah the Exalted will attain peace and success in both worlds, through achieving a balanced mental and physical state, and correctly placing every person and every aspect of life in its proper position. Chapter 16 An-Nahl, verse 97.
Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter according to the best of what they used to do.
In contrast, the one who misuses these blessings will experience an unbalanced mental and physical state, and will misplace everything and everyone within their life. This leads to stress, hardship, and difficulties, even if some worldly luxuries are enjoyed. Moreover, since such an attitude prevents preparation for accountability on Judgment Day, the consequences in the hereafter will be even more severe. Chapter 20 Taha, verses 124 to 126.
And whoever turns away from my remembrance, indeed he will have a depressed, i.e., difficult life, and we will gather, i.e., raise him on the day of resurrection blind. He will say, My Lord, why have you raised me blind while I was once seeing? Allah will say, Thus did our signs come to you, and you forgot, i.e., disregarded them, and thus will you this day be forgotten.
And chapter 1 Al-Fatiha, verses 6 to 7.
Guide us to the straight path. The path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, not of those who have earned your anger or of those who are astray.
Therefore, a person is required to accept and apply Islamic teachings for their own benefit, even when doing so conflicts with personal desires. Their conduct should resemble that of a wise patient who follows a doctor's advice with confidence, knowing it is for their well-being, even when the prescribed treatment involves bitterness or a strict regimen. In the same way, the one who accepts and implements Islamic teachings attains both mental and physical well-being. This is because only Allah, the Exalted, possesses the knowledge necessary to ensure that a person achieves true balance in mind and body, and correctly positions every person and every aspect of their life. The understanding of human mental and physical conditions available to society will never be sufficient to achieve this outcome, despite extensive research and development. Human guidance cannot resolve every problem a person may encounter, nor can it prevent all forms of stress or ensure complete harmony in life. It is limited by incomplete knowledge, restricted experience, lack of foresight, and inherent bias. In contrast, Allah, the Exalted, alone possesses perfect and complete knowledge in this regard, and He has conveyed it to humanity through the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This reality becomes clear when one observes the difference between those who apply these teachings to their lives and those who do not. Although patients often do not understand the detailed science behind their medication, they still place trust in the physician who prescribes it. Similarly, Allah, the Exalted, does not call people to blind acceptance of Islam. Rather, He invites them to reflect upon its teachings so that they may recognize their truth through clear signs and evidence. However, this requires a person to approach the teachings with fairness, openness, and freedom from prejudice. Chapter 12 Yusuf, verse 108.
Say, This is my way, I invite to Allah with insight, I and those who follow me.
In addition, since Allah the Exalted alone governs the spiritual hearts of people, the true seat of inner peace, it is He alone who grants tranquility to whomever He wills and withholds it from whomever He wills. Chapter 53 and Najm, verse 43.
And that it is He who makes one laugh and weep.
It is therefore evident that Allah, the Exalted, bestows peace of mind upon those who correctly utilize the blessings He has granted them in accordance with Islamic teachings. Thus, a person should strive to reach those who excel in this path by adopting the correct perception and understanding through learning and acting upon the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, as the time in this world is limited and the call to depart is ever drawing near. Chapter 10 Yunus, verse 45.
And on the day when He will gather them, it will be as if they had not remained in the world but an hour of the day.
And chapter 3 Ali Imran, verse 185.
Every soul will taste death, and you will only be given your full compensation on the day of resurrection. So he who is drawn away from the fire and admitted to paradise has attained his desire. And what is the life of this world except the enjoyment of delusion?
Through the mercy of Allah, the Exalted, the summarized Quranic commentary, the Path of Peace of Mind series was completed on Sunday, the 23rd of Shawwal, 1447 after Hijri, corresponding to the 12th of April, 2026. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and may peace and blessings be upon His final messenger, Muhammad, his noble family and companions.